The Galaxy S26 Ultra is about to slim down, but here's the twist. You probably won't even feel the difference. According to new leaks, Samsung's next big flagship will shave off a bit of thickness compared to the S25 Ultra, yet the weight? Practically the same. And that tiny shift might create a bigger problem than it solves. Here's what's going on. The Galaxy S25 Ultra was already a heavyweight at 218 grams and 8.2 millimeters thick. Now, the S26 Ultra is rumored to come in at 7.9 millimeters. Sounds good on paper, right? But the actual weight is pegged at 217 grams. That's just 1 gram lighter, basically nothing. The change isn't really about making the phone easier to carry, it's about making the body feel slimmer in the hand. But here's where things get interesting. To achieve this thinner look, Samsung may be compensating with an absolutely massive camera bump. The current S25 Ultra's camera module sticks out about 2.4 millimeters. On the S26 Ultra, leaks suggest it could grow to 4.5 millimeters. Add that up, and suddenly the phone goes from a total thickness of 9.1 millimeters to a chunky 12.4 millimeters, at least around the cameras. So yes, the sides may look sleeker, but the back could end up feeling like a small ledge sticking out of your pocket. Now, weight alone isn't necessarily a deal breaker. In fact, the S26 Ultra could still claim the title of one of the lightest Ultra flagships on the market. For comparison, Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max is 227 grams, the Pixel 10 Pro XL tips the scale at 232 grams, and heavy hitters like the Xiaomi 15 Ultra and Vivo X200 Ultra hover around 229 grams. On paper, Samsung looks competitive. The real concern is balance. When you're holding a large phone, 217 grams evenly spread across the body can feel fine, but if most of that mass is concentrated at the top, where that oversized camera bump sits, the phone could feel awkward, even top-heavy. Imagine trying to snap photos or scroll one-handed while the weight keeps tugging toward the camera end. That's the kind of detail that doesn't show up on spec sheets, but can make or break the day-to-day experience. Think about it. Most people already use cases, and that adds even more thickness to the back. If the bump is as exaggerated as leaks suggest, you're not just looking at a design quirk, you're looking at a device that may rock on a table, feel uneven in your grip, and potentially fatigue your hand faster during long use. It's a subtle trade-off that might frustrate users who are hoping for a genuinely sleeker Ultra. That said, Samsung's move isn't entirely shocking. Smartphone makers have been wrestling with physics for years. Sensors get bigger, lenses need more room, and battery capacity is still non-negotiable for power users. So the question becomes, do you prefer a thicker body with flush cameras or a thinner frame with a giant camera bump? Neither option is perfect, and it seems Samsung is betting on the latter. From a consumer standpoint, I think the bigger story here isn't the 1 gram difference. It's how Samsung is shaping the Ultra line's identity. The Ultra branding has always implied no compromises. The biggest screens, the most powerful cameras, and the kind of battery life you can count on. But as these devices push against physical limits, we're starting to see design trade-offs creep in. Slimmer sides sound sleek, but if usability suffers because of poor weight distribution, is that really an upgrade? Personally, I've used heavy phones for years, and the weight itself never bothered me. What does matter is balance. A phone that sits naturally in your hand feels less tiring even if it's a few grams heavier. On the flip side, a top-heavy device can feel unstable, and that's not great when you're holding a $1,000 slab of glass and metal. So, while Samsung's rumored design tweak might make the S26 Ultra look modern and streamlined in promo images, the real test will be in how it feels in everyday use. Specs are one thing, but comfort, balance, and usability are what actually define whether a phone earns a spot in your pocket for the next year or two. And that's the part we won't know until the S26 Ultra is actually in people's hands. For now, it seems Samsung is prioritizing looks over genuine weight reduction. Whether that gamble pays off or backfires will depend entirely on how much users value style over feel. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.